Hello, welcome back. Now, while the bread is proving, I'm here with Nicole. Now, I want to just chat to you about the sort of special kids that have come out of this college.
Well, as you know, and I think you mentioned before, William Angliss has been empowering, teaching, inspiring students for over 70 years.
Yes.
And you mentioned Paul before. Paul's success, along with several of our other students, is exciting for us and is a testament to the fantastic educators we have.
Yes.
And the course, the baking course, the bakery course, and also the Institute as a whole. So we're excited to be part of any of our students' success, and at the moment, very excited for Paul.
Now, let's go back into the kitchen and see how Paul's going with his bread.
And I'm just going to knock this dough back a little bit, and this just expels any unwanted gas that's already built up into the dough. The next thing I'm going to do is to divide the dough into two pieces, and this is going to be my 2 loaves of bread. Okay, all I'm going to do now is simply round these 2 loaves up, and again let them rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to place it onto a tray that's been covered with a cloth, and I'm just going to put a small amount of flour on the cloth. This is going to ensure that the dough piece doesn't stick to the cloth, but when I take it off tomorrow, it's going to come off nice and easily. Okay, to do the final shape, what I'm going to do is get my dough piece, turn it upside down. I'm just going to press the dough piece out lightly with my fingertips. I'm going to fold over 1/3 and just tuck that back underneath a little bit. This creates a little bit of tension within the loaf to ensure that when we score the bread or cut the bread, that we're going to get a nice kick from it. Turn the loaf around, again fold that other 1/3 over, press that down, and I'm creating a seam down the middle. What I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to seal this seam off. So I place my thumb on top of that seam, drag over the dough piece on the top, and using the heel of my hand against the bench, I'm going to seal that seam off against the bench. What I've got now is a nice seam running along the base of my product. I've got a nice oval football shape, which is called a Vienna, and I'm going to place that onto the board that's had that floured cloth. I'm going to cover that, and I'm going to put that into the refrigerator overnight to allow that to ferment slowly to ensure that I get that nice acidity build up in the loaf. Once you've got your dough piece in the oven, we need to get some steam into the oven. And again, what you're able to do is to have a heavy based pan in the bottom of the oven that has been preheated again with the oven, and pour a small amount of water into this pan to generate some steam within that first couple of minutes of baking. Steam is very important to baking. It ensures that during the first couple of minutes, what is known as oven spring, that our loaf is going to expand nice and evenly. And the role of the steam is it ensures that the crust stays nice and moist, and that it's able to expand without tearing in places where we don't want it to tear. So steam is an important part of the baking process. It's also going to impart a particular shine on the top of the product, or a glaze, and it is a crucial part. Try and avoid from splashing water in the back of the oven because it can damage your oven. So with your Turkish bread, once you've got your dough made, place that into an oiled container and let that rest for approximately 30 minutes. Once that has rested for 30 minutes, oil a bench, tip the dough out onto the oiled bench and stretch the dough out to an even size. Then you want to divide the dough up into the pieces required. As you pick them up, just stretch them out and place them onto a greased baking tray, and again let them sit aside for about half an hour before you bake them. Before they go into the oven, sprinkle them lightly with some poppy seed and sesame seed and place them into the oven. So before you place your Turkish bread into the oven, ensure that your oven has been preheated. You're looking for a temperature of about 220 degrees Celsius, so a nice hot oven, and these are going to bake for about 15 minutes. Once they've come out of the oven, they're delicious warm, or you can allow them to cool and enjoy them later on with dips or with a meal. So what I'm going to show you now is the hot cross buns. If you don't have a benchtop mixer such as this, you can mix the dough on the bench with your hands. What you want to do is to add your flour first, and again we're using the baker's flour for its protein content and also for the food source for the yeast to ensure that fermentation can take place. The next ingredient we're going to add is salt. Salt is added at around about 1.5% to 2% of the flour weight. Salt plays an important role in yeast doughs. It helps to strengthen that gluten structure that we form from the baker's flour. It helps to impart or improve the flavour of the finished product. It helps with the bloom or the overall colour of the finished product, and it helps to kill off any unwanted bacteria and yeast that we don't want in there. So it acts as an antiseptic. Then the next ingredient we're going to add is the yeast. And again, it's a baker's yeast or a dry baker's yeast that you can get from your local supermarket. This doesn't need to be mixed with water, but make sure that you thoroughly mixed all your dry ingredients together before you add your liquids. Bread improver we're going to add next, and again, bread improver is available from your supermarkets, found in the aisle where most bread premixes are found. Bread improver is basically going to speed up the fermentation process. One of the main ingredients of bread improver is the enzymes, and the role of the enzymes is to ensure that they have the breakdown of the complex carbohydrates or the complex sugars found within the flour to a simple form of sugar that the yeast is able to feed off. So it's going to speed up that process and ensure that we're going to have a quick fermentation period for this product. Then we're going to add sugar. Sugar is added at around about 10% to the flour weight, and again, that's going to ensure that we have a nice sweet product. It's also going to ensure that we're going to have a nice golden crust colour as well. Once you've combined all your dry ingredients, give them a quick mix so they are thoroughly mixed together before you add your liquid. Once you add your liquids, always hold back on the water quantity a little bit. Never add all your water at once. Once you've brought your dough together with the liquid, there's a few things that are happening with that. First of all, we've got a lot of chemical reactions. So yeast, first of all, needs three things to ferment. It needs moisture, it needs warmth, and it needs food. So the food source, as I mentioned, is going to come from the flour and also the sugar that we've added to the dough. The moisture, obviously, is going to come from the water, and the warmth is going to come from the temperature of our water. Once we've thoroughly mixed our dough, we test it by doing a gluten window. And again, if you have a benchtop mixer, we're looking for a window that is nice and clear and is extensible. If the window tears easily, basically it means that we don't have that level of gluten development that we're looking for. So we need to continue to mix. Once we've done our gluten window, we're going to incorporate our butter. As soon as our butter has been incorporated properly, what we can do is we can add our spice. And again, I've just used a mixed spice here. Once I've incorporated the spice, I can also add my fruit. Now with the fruit, again, it's important that we wash the fruit, but we don't want to soak it. Washing the fruit is going to help to clean the fruit and ensure that it's not going to discolour our dough badly. Okay, so as soon as your dough is finished mixing, let that rest on the bench for about 20 minutes to half an hour. Then what you can do is divide that up into the individual buns. Round them up nicely, place them on the tray reasonably close together, and again, let them rest for approximately half an hour before you put them into the oven. Before they go into the oven, what you need to do is put your cross mix on. Now the cross mix is simply made up of margarine and flour and sugar and water. When the buns come out, ensure to glaze them with the sugar syrup made up of equal parts of sugar and water being brought to the boil, and allow them to cool. And enjoy your hot cross buns for Easter.
And when we come back, we're going to go into the kitchen and watch Aurelie weave her magic and make these wonderful croissants.